done it. The Mad Lad's finally done it. He's finally just going all out. He's just doing it. He's actually making a video about shortwave radio. Never thought I would have seen the day. Well, in all honesty, this video is going to talk about that, but I want to cover it on a more broader range, understand? To jump right into things, I suppose, we all have things in life, of course, we do in our free time. Some people, they call them hobbies, they call them exclusively hobbies. I like to call them hobbies or pastimes or really just things that you like to do, because when you use the word hobby, to me it kind of conjures up.
Hi Reject, how you doing?
It makes it sound like it's something that
I'm doing my math homework
like,
and
my hobby is
watching
building,
videos.
Ships and
Yeah, this is a very kind of what Binks is doing today.
uh,
Yes, this video got me into shortwave radio. I was obsessed with radio before I was obsessed with synthesizers. How are you doing?
Use hobbies or pastimes, they're really the same thing. It's something that someone does that gives them solace or contentment that they do in their free time. That it's something.
Nice. I'm good too. I'm chilling. I worked out today because I had ChatGPT like build me a workout routine, and then I'm actually sticking to it. So yeah, I'm happy about that. I want abs. I want to be muscular. I don't know, not that muscular yet, but yeah. And doing some math homework, so I don't have to do it all in one day.
It was something that I had the motivation to do. It was something that I found
yeah, no, I'm obsessed with ChatGPT actually. I have it like do everything for me. I had to build my skincare routine, my workout routine, my vitamin supplement routine, like everything.
Doing what you like to do for fun. And I'm not talking about, the extreme cases. I'm talking about things that, say you like to paint, right? You like to draw. You like to listen to shortwave radio. You like to play video games. You're into vintage fashion.
I will stream the math, but I'm scared it's gonna like show my full name on there, so I'm not gonna do that.
Very unappreciative of those things, when I sometimes talk about shortwave radio and sometimes listen, they say, put the old radio away. What are you listening on to that stupid thing? Why are you wasting your time on that? Go
yeah, I will not be doing that.
Instead of doing that.
What time is it in Ireland?
The people who might be saying that, they may fill their own time with, whatever it is. They might be coin collectors. They might, have they might be aficionados
Bruh.
of a certain type of music. They might play instruments, might play video games, whatever
Pook.
it is.
Hi EU deck.
I never
I'm doing my math homework and stuff. Going to sleep soon? That's good. Me too. I'll do homework for like, I don't know, 2 hours or something, and then I'll go to sleep. Tomorrow though, at 8 EST, I'm gonna be doing a live synth stream, but it's gonna be with the GSG Live. So it's gonna be with the Twitch synthesizer people thing. It's gonna be like a raid train. So I'm excited for that. Hope you can come out. Yeah. So I moved my synth stuff to Sunday so I can join their little raid train thingy.
Something that makes their free time worthwhile.
EU deck, how you doing?
As long as it's not hurting others, It always disappoints me when people
Hi Hazuka. I'm doing my math homework.
I guess try to
how are you?
Demean others just because of their interests and because it's not like how theirs are. That's something that I'm always a little disappointed of, and something I kind of wanted to get off my chest right off the bat, because that was really what gave me the motivation to do this video. we all have our different hobbies and pastimes and interests. And in this video, I also wanted to kind of share what one of my big hobbies is, and that's shortwave radio. Now, it's something I'm sure, at least if you have a little bit of a frog in my throat.
Oh, thank you, EU Duck, thank you.
Frog, I don't think.
I just put my little, like, lip gloss on to swag it up a little bit. Basking in the glow of finishing and posting something.
There we go.
Amazing.
All right.
Nice.
We're just gonna go through it. There we go. That got it out.
Was it the slow dive? Slow dive cover?
Thing was. Anyway, if you've watched enough of my videos, you know I've talked about it. You know I've referenced it. You know I've brought it up. Shortwave radio, right? You might have even seen the memes where I kind of, I might be sitting there reviewing the
Hi, Hellcat.
burger, and I'll pull out the radio and I'll be tuning around, and then they'll add the audio.
It's good.
Yo,
nice.
Something that I tune to.
I'll listen to it soon.
But you might have seen me talk about shortwave. You might have heard me mention it, promote it even. But really, what is shortwave radio? Why am I interested so much in, a radio? Something that maybe you might use for, an alarm clock to wake up, or maybe something you might just put on the background for music, or not use at all. What's so interesting to it, and what is shortwave radio specifically? Well, I know, just like if you think about your hobby, your interest, right? Something that you spend a lot of time doing, you could go on and on and on about it. Yeah, you could talk.
It's kind of scuffed for what it is.
I can do the same with shortwave radio.
But you're happy with it? That's all that matters. Perfection is dumb. You can always make it better later. You don't want to say you're going to submit something because last time you pussied out, but maybe this time you will. I believe. I believe.
Especially at night, you could hear,
There's always chances, so you're good.
During the daytime, just the way radio frequencies kind of react with the atmosphere. During the daytime, an AM frequency might only cover, maybe a part of the state, but then as the sun sets, that frequency and that station just goes out a lot farther. I remember here in Florida.
Wait, I'm gonna try something.
AM radio in the car, and I could listen to stations from New York.
How can I do this thing that Bing showed me how to do?
Except these signals, they kind of sound like AM radio signals, can travel much, much farther. I'm not talking hundreds of miles, talking thousands of miles, tens of thousands of miles. And as a result, there's high
You're gonna buy a guitar tomorrow?
Radio stations all around the world.
What brought this on?
Of course, in the US, in Canada, even a couple in Mexico, Cuba, pretty much all countries. North Korea has shortwave radio stations. There's a couple, not a lot anymore.
Yo, I just discovered studio mode.
In China,
Wait.
India, Iran, many places in Europe, there's stations in Germany, France, UK, etc., etc. You get the picture. And these stations, they broadcast, an eclectic mix of programming to a worldwide audience. They broadcast world music, they could broadcast world news, interesting perspectives. Sometimes you get some crazy stuff, like some crazy, full-blown propaganda, which could be fun to listen to, to hear such a different perspective. You could hear interesting music shows, you could also hear some talk music programs, etc. And that's one thing that I like about the medium. You could kind of turn on the radio. It's a medium with many technicalities and really a lot of mental exercise as well, because sometimes you have to really hunt around on the radio dial for some of these stations, but it's fun for me to do. It's fun for me to turn on the radio, hear this programming, which yes, you could hear it online, but
something from Reject or something from me?
Easier even in a sense to just turn on the radio.
Oh, your current guitar is broken? How did it get broken?
One may otherwise not be motivated to look up online. And the other thing that I really like about shortwave radio is the distance involved. And again, I know that this isn't going to appeal to everyone, but there's something about this medium, to me, that just gets to me. Or I might be sitting here in Florida with just this, handheld
Oh, he's in Florida?
radio.
Wait,
outside
I'm in the same state as this legend?
There I am,
Hold up.
a station that's being transmitted from 10,000 miles away, if not more, say it's in Madagascar.
Did you guys know Review Bra is in Florida?
It's being broadcast from over
oh my
10,000
gosh.
miles away. And here I am being able to listen to it like it's just a local station. I just think there's something really cool about
The report
that. I like
of the week.
Community that's involved in shortwave radio. I like the shows that I hear. There's just a lot of things that appeal to me in terms of that medium. Just like with whatever it is that might interest you. Some people it just won't connect with, you know. It won't click, you know. Some people, they just won't get it. It's just not for them. That's fine. Nothing's for everyone. But there might be those things with your interest where you say, you know, it's something about this that, you know, maybe I can't fully describe it, but I just like the way it is, you know. Something that
He just likes the way it is.
Something that
Autism.
makes it enjoyable. Something that maybe gives it a certain type of thrill and enjoyment. That's kind of how that is with terms of shortwave radio. Of course, you could hear fun stuff like numbers stations. You know, they're still around.
Number station. I want to make
pirate
one.
stations.
I want to make a number station.
Of course, the medium has its good and its bad, and you kind of have to filter through it.
You know, I'm busy, reject. It's about time we got some art. Yeah, you punch your fist through it, bro. Oh, it was old and the tuning peg broke on it. Okay, I see. Only crazy people in Florida. Yeah, I won't argue with that.
So with the flash turned on, here's the setup.
I won't argue with that.
There. And I have
it's just a cover, just noodle on the guitar. That's still fun.
Serving as a big, long, fancy.
That's still fun.
Not perfect, but it works. So now let's see what we can hear.
I told the counselor about my childhood, my exposure to pornography, and my...
Hey, Mama's little chupacabra, how you doing? I'm doing my math homework and just watching random videos. Well, not that random.
That's China Radio International. They're a pretty good station.
China Radio International, whoa.
Last love. He who loves best. 通常来说呢，主小羊们是那些笑得最会、笑得最好的人。Yeah, she feels like an ugly duckling in her tone, but she wastes no time learning all sorts of skills, very hardworking, in her quiet way. Actualización sobre la detención del opositor.
You're new to it? You were playing for a while, singing just recently? Oh shit, you sing nice. The more the merrier. Yeah. You found some guitars today? Which ones? What did you find?
Didn't want to keep it on that long, but that's a cool music station. This one's a fun catch. It's a low-powered station out of Mexico City, so it's kind of neat that it made it over here.
These fetal kidney cells, which are carried as you roll into the station, you could hear all the people.
Shortwave. I love shortwave radio. It kind of sounds like Conan O'Brien shit. A PV bass and an older Washburn bass. Hell yeah, that's nice. Wait, watch this. Yo. This is crazy. I just transitioned my thing. Wow. Bink showed me how to do that.
And it goes on, but this is just a quick example of some of the stuff you could hear. And none of these stations are 24/7, so you turn on your radio at a different hour, you're going to hear a whole different slew of
Vimp
stuff
shortwave station?
We end with WWV, the Atomic
I have a AM, like Sears record player with cassette, but the only thing that works is the Bluetooth cassette,
So as you can see, that was
and
kind
like
of an example of some of the stuff that
the record player doesn't work. but it does have AM radio on it. Hello Malice, how you doing? I'm doing some math homework and watching random videos.
There are times you could pick up so many stations. I remember there was a time
I'm excited. Yo guys, I'm doing at 8 p.m. EST GSG Live, that's the synthesizer group here on Twitch. I'm gonna be doing a live set at 8 p.m. EST until 9. It's like a raid synthesizer train thing.
We're just coming in so strong. It's so much fun to hear that. Then there's other nights or even some parts of the day I'm scanning around and I hear some crazy, absolutely raving, talk show host or whatever I have no interest in listening to.
Yes, tomorrow. And Malice is going before me, so he will be raiding into my channel. You'll probably catch it. Nice. I hope you do.
One other thing that kind of, I guess, has made me committed to the medium in a sense is also the way that I found to incorporate this YouTube channel with shortwave radio. Not only do I sometimes talk about shortwave in videos or feature a little segment in a review where I'm listening to the radio. As a matter of fact, I do my own show that is broadcast on shortwave radio. Yes, believe it or not, you could pick up this radio and at the right time and frequency you could turn it on and you could hear me on it.
You got a basic Radio Shack radio? Wait, is AM and shortwave the different thing? Is it different?
Broker their airtime at an affordable rate.
Tune in an hour early? Hell yes. Tune in an hour early for Malice. How do I shout you out? Let me try. / shout out.
Might be in places so rural that there's this limited electricity, no internet, might be heavily censored, might live in such poverty that all that
here you go.
All that they can afford is a radio.
I'm learning Twitch.
Yes, they might listen to AM too.
Go
also might listen to shortwave. It's actually been proven in
to his channel an hour early so you can raid into my channel. Yeah, I'm excited too.
But there are
need a good size antenna, damn.
People who still listen to shortwave radio for news.
Yeah, he's real and he lives in Florida.
And it's a way. It had always been a dream of mine to kind of get
my
own show out
there.
Just share
AM and shortwave are different?
Have some fun and get my content out there.
Yeah, of course.
To an audience that I would not be able to
I thought they were the same
on YouTube. And that dream came true about 2 years ago, and then full time a year ago I was able to get my show on some shortwave stations, and now it goes out every Thursday and every Sunday to many corners of the globe. It goes out to South America, Europe, the Caribbean, all of North America, Central America. It's even been heard as far away as really South Asia, Southeast Asia. Heard from someone in Uzbekistan once. And I'm able to utilize this medium that not only I listen to for fun, but I also am able to incorporate it into this YouTube channel, do my own radio show, 1 hour of
they don't do analog TV anymore, damn.
It's 1 hour of talk, some music.
All the good stuff is dying out.
A new audience with, a few thoughts, a few points of view, and maybe some entertainment at the same time. But it's a lot of fun to do. It's a real pleasure to do. And, with that note, I suppose, in conclusion of it all, I would always recommend, if you're interested, you could give it a listen. It's something that I try to promote, I suppose, so often because it's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that, is really, as I said, it's a big pastime of mine. It's something that I find interesting and fascinating and truly is viable in the sense that there are listeners out there and it's technological.
They got rid of analog TV a long time ago.
And it's something that I always, I say if you're
so
interested
sad.
in it, give it a shot, dip a toe in. A
sad.
lot of people actually, they kind of start out in the medium. They kind of get an inexpensive radio to listen to my broadcast on. From there they start spinning the dial, they hear some other stuff, and sure enough, some people have found a new hobby to pick up. That's how I've gotten into some other hobbies myself. That's even how I kind of delved into the medium of shortwave radio. Back in 2012 when I was kind of doing some research and someone recommended I look up UVB-76 and the Russian numbers stations, and here I am a few years later doing a radio show on that very same medium, which is pretty crazy to look at in retrospect. You know, it's crazy. It's really all how I can describe it. On a final note, one last thing that I like about shortwave radio is some of its technological advantages. I remember it's an example I bring up many a time, but when Hurricane Irma hit the region of Florida back in last year, actually, it wiped out a lot of communications. Power was gone, internet was gone, cell service was gone, TV was gone. A lot of local AM, FM stations, they're either on lower
digital
power
broadcast
because their
takes
power
up
was
way less
knocked out,
bandwidth.
so they were off the air completely.
Oh, okay.
How the heck did I stay in touch with things?
I see.
How did I know what was going on? Not only in the immediate vicinity,
I
but
like
also
old
in
shit
the world
though.
around me.
So I'm always sad when
This radio was such a
I'm
huge
like
help
a
to me. It really was.
I'm like a
Not only does it come with shortwave,
boomer.
it comes with AM, FM.
I
as
want
well,
everything
which
to
is
stay
much
old.
better, should I say, than your boom box or alarm clock. But I was able to stay in touch with regional news through whatever stations this radio could pick up to a better degree. And I was also able to tune into some shortwave stations, hear about how the hurricane impacted the Caribbean, how things are looking like in the U.S., what else is going on in the world, you know? So there's many things about the medium I enjoy, and just as, you know, I always encourage you to kind of share your hobby and promote it to those who are interested. That's kind of what I'm doing with mine. Just wanted to make this little video talking about my hobby and interest, shortwave radio. And really, you know, you have nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to your own interests, when it comes down to your hobbies, things you do in your pastimes. And if people ever try to demean you or make fun of you for the things that give you happiness and you enjoy doing in your free time, shame on them. Ignore them. Just keep on moving onwards.
Boomer Zoomer, yes.
Thank you for
Vimp
watching
is
this,
a
ladies and
conservative,
gentlemen. I'm your host for
confirmed.
Reported Week. If you want any more information
No,
on this
I don't
radio
pay
show,
attention
or
to
wanna
like
get a
politics
shortwave
at
radio,
all.
I can give you a few recommendations for some
OTV needs an
expensive
adapter
models.
to pick up the
You
new
can send me
digital
an email,
stations.
vorwinfo@gmail.com.
We
You
used
can
to
also
watch
check for some
like
additional information in the description and pinned
old
comments.
VHS
Again,
tapes
thank
on
you
my
for
friend's
watching. Take
TV.
care, and
That
I'll
was
see you
really
again
fun.
with another
You're
video
kidding.
soon. That's all.
I know. Whoa! Okay. What should we watch next?
It's me.
Minecraft leaks.
Yeah. Minecraft Live, except it's not so live. Season is finally almost upon us. It seems like it could be just about any minute now that the big show, it'll not only be announced, but we'll be sitting back, eating the popcorn, taking it all in. Minecraft Live this spring, there was a lot going on, from the Minecraft movie to vibrant visuals to even the most greaser chicken of all time. The
Based
spring had a lot
politics
going on.
disregarded.
The fall, at least if these leaks have anything to do with it.
Yo, there's a dude you follow on TikTok that
Today,
does
we're gonna
stuff on
take a
his
look at
lives.
'em and play
Okay.
a little quick game of Factor Cat.
Not worth being
Besties, I need
invested.
your help.
Minecraft
We're still sitting around
Live?
30% of you who watch
Wait,
the
what is
videos being
this?
subscribed. Tap the button. You know how
Yeah,
it
tap the
goes, I'm your
button.
guy. If you want to stay in the loop with all things Minecraft, you smash that subscribe button right now. And let's talk about the date of the big show. So over on Minecraft.net, we can go to Minecraft.net/live, and then it should auto-update to whatever language your language is. In typical Mojang fashion, they kind of leaked something,
Smash it!
except in a different language. Like they've done
I watch
before
this
on
guy
the
when
alternate
I like
language versions
do
of
my
the
makeup
Minecraft
and get
website
ready and
for
stuff,
Minecraft
and in the
Live.
morning,
Well, the date of
and
the
when I
next
shower.
Minecraft Live just
I just
finished.
watch
And
Minecraft
this time, it wasn't
updates
even like a niche
from his
language
YouTube
or
channel.
Fathom. So like for like 5 months,
I
over
don't
on
know,
the
it just
Spanish
makes
version
sense
of
to
the
me.
Minecraft Live webpage on Minecraft.net.
Appropriate
the page is kind
facial
of pretty similar to the
expression.
English page. That is until we scroll
Easier
all the
to
way
watch
down
him
to the
do
bottom.
it.
We've got a little bit of
Damn.
PMFs going on. That's the Spanish version of FAQs. So
Or
go
like
ahead
I'll
and
find
open up
something
your
in the
box
thrift
so
store.
It sticks out like a sore thumb. Minecraft Live se celebría de forma virtual el 22 de septiembre de 2025 y comenzará a las 30.
Bro, his Spanish is making me
Look, man,
angry.
it's been a long time since I did my Spanish, but all that adds up to saying Minecraft Live, September 22nd. Now, this is on the Wayback Machine. If you haven't seen it quite yet, I'll drop a link down below, but this is legit stuff on the official Mojang site. Now, of course, once people started noticing this one, it spread around the community pretty quickly. Mojang went ahead and changed it. They fixed it. It's gone now. But let's take a look at a calendar for this month. Minecraft Live on September 22nd, a day after my brother's birthday. Not only would that be a fire post-birthday celebration, but that would be on a Monday. That's so weird. As you probably know here, Minecraft Live is always and has always been on a Saturday for like at least a decade or more. Long time here. Are they about to seriously switch it up? But look, if you take it at face value, then yes,
No,
they
really,
are
this
about
is
to switch it
legit.
up, but
You speak
I
Spanish?
think I'm leaning a little bit
I feel like I
towards cap
speak
here. Here's what I
50%
think happened
Spanish.
instead. Minecraft Live's
Like just
streaming this
living
year
in
was on the
Miami, I
22nd
just
of
picked it
March,
up as I lived
2025.
here.
That, of course, was definitely a Saturday.
So I can understand
Seeing as
it.
this page with the
Speaking, I'm
September
okay.
22nd date
Reading,
was
I'm
updated
okay.
pretty
But
much
I can
right
understand
after
what people
Minecraft
are
Live
saying.
finished. I have a feeling that they knew that Minecraft Live was going to happen in September in the fall, but they had no clue as to what the actual date was. Therefore, the FAQ page was updated with the updated month and the date. Because they didn't have one, they just left it alone. I want to add here that, guys, Minecraft Live
Yeah, everyone
being on a
speaks
Monday
Spanglish
here,
at least.
it would annihilate the viewer base of who can actually
It took
watch
2 years of
Minecraft
Spanish
Live,
and
putting it in
barely
the middle
functional.
of
I
the
took
day
3
on a
years, but
Monday.
it's just
Like,
the
nobody's
fact that
gonna be
everyone
able to
speaks
really
it
watch
here,
that
that's
stuff.
why.
Monday's a busy day. So I do think
That's
Minecraft
why.
Live will be in September and probably close to the 22nd, but I do not think, unfortunately for my brother, that it's an after party for his birthday. So this leak, even though it definitely is fact coming straight from Mojang, I don't believe it to be the correct date. Put it 1/3 inside of fact column, the rest of thirds inside of cap. And who knows, maybe by the time you're watching this video, we actually have the real date already out. Timelines, baby, life's all about them. With an organized timeline, concise and sorted out, you can plan things pretty far off into the future. So you guys might remember
Spice
this one. We
World?
talked about it quite a few months ago, but earlier this year, an
What is
alleged
that?
timeline showing off everything that was happening not only this year, but next year and the year after was leaked. Now, even though bits and pieces of this timeline have
It took a
ended up to
decade
be
of
kind
Irish.
correct since we talked about it, there is a glaring issue with
I
this
don't speak
timeline.
any of it
was
either.
figured out at some point
Do
that
people
this Warner
actually
Brothers
speak
logo
Irish there, or
represented
it's
Minecraft
just,
movie coming to streaming
English?
in Q3.
You can get by with
Instead,
English.
Minecraft the movie came to streaming way earlier than Q3. Also, there have been multiple brand collaborations throughout the year. Not
Yes.
only just one in the spring and one in
Actually,
the fall. We
Matt
already had a
Reject in
feeling that
Ireland.
this was Cap, but for once and for all, we can throw this thing firmly inside of the Cap section. By the way, if you were wondering, Fact is represented
Gaelic?
by a smile.
No idea.
Oh, it makes me so happy. And then Cap is represented famously by the famous Minecraft green hat cap. All right, now this next one. And first, I thought it was pretty groundbreaking. For this one, we head over to r/PhoenixSC, the subreddit for the one and only, the absolute legend himself. A few weeks ago on the PhoenixSC subreddit, a couple of leaked images from Minecraft Live After Show popped up. Oh mama, oh my god. In this first image right here, we've got the desert update at last. The whole gang is here looking inside of a Minecraft chest. We move on a little bit. No, the crab's here. The beautiful new one type or something. And even more beautiful desert grass. Bro, why didn't they add that earlier? Stepping on a little down the road, it's still pretty legit seeming. Maybe amethyst will get a new use. Copper. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. That's been like that. And wait a second. Does that mean the fledging table? It's going to finally do something. Carrying right down the line, it's all still pretty believable. A little bit of a throwback with the target block moment. What? The moo bloom, the moo shroom in the red poppy shroom. Yeah. All right. It's starting to get a little bit too good to be true. Oh my god. Is that an end portal? Move through. There's an end altar. Look at the sky. This is insane. We keep. Oh, vertical. I'm not gonna lie, man. In the first half of this one, they definitely had us. Hey, you never know, man. Something about a tank in Bazooka. Hey, something about it all. It just smells a little bit fishy to me. Hey, so far today, it's not looking too hot when it comes to Minecraft leaks. Surprisingly, at least right now, it seems like the devs have kept this show pretty well under wraps. Or have they? Next up, let's go to the leading and the most reliable source of Minecraft leaks on the internet. Minecraft themselves. So pretty recently here, they dropped a video called The Story of the Elder Guardian. This is a really cool video in which they go into some of the development processes, thoughts, takes, and opinions that the developers have on the oldest Guardian in the entire game. Now this is a pretty cool video with many different developers coming in here talking all about the Elder Guardian. In this video, Jeb even pops up and talks about his thought process when he was adding the Elder Guardian and this whole ocean temple to the game way back when, in like the 90s. But leave it to Minecraft.
There's some different related Celtic languages referred to as Gaelic,
because I want you to watch
Ireland,
this next part
Scotland,
closely.
Island of
While
Man.
the developers
Okay,
were talking about the ocean temple and suffocating, needing to breathe inside of it, they show off a little sneaky door trick and wait, what a
I went to school in the US, so I don't know much world
over in game, a cherry door, Minecraft Bedrock Edition Java doesn't really make that much sense. Wait a second, the cherry door is cherry, well yeah, but it's way less detailed. Take a look at the door from this official video from Mojang, and right here, while the player is trying to breathe, the middle part of the door dips in. The handle on the door over here, as you can see, it's popping out. Now, texture-wise on this actual door, everything is exactly the same here. Like, we have that same, what would be the popping out middle part. We have the same little crossing part that would be popping in, but that doesn't happen at all. Taking a look at all the texture work that Mojang has gone into and put hours, they crunched the numbers, put the hours in this year, making things look better than ever before. I mean, this is an official video from the Minecraft channel. I don't see why they would be showing off a door texture that just isn't in the game. Like, very obviously here, this stuff is shot in vanilla Minecraft, no vibrant visuals or anything like that. Why would the developers be activating a random singular door texture pack for like 1-2 shots inside of the video? I don't know my own. Instead here, I think this was shot in a developer version of Minecraft, and for whatever reason, this developer version of Minecraft has doors that are way cooler looking. Personally, I don't know for sure, but personally, I think this was a little bit of a slip-up on Mojang's part. I think a door update, whether it's this very next one or still being tested and it'll come later, but I do believe that a door update could be in the works here. After all, man, we've got so many different types of doors in the game that are so fire and cool looking, and just imagine certain parts of some of these doors, maybe the oak door, this middle part pops in a little bit more.
They're really a different country. Is it like Transnistria not being recognized by Moldova or anyone?
So good.
Is that how it is?
Mojang leaked a little bit of something that they're testing out behind the scenes. Whoops. Alright, now it's time for last and, well, maybe least, I don't know. We'll find out. So apparently, Roger Benjamin made a comeback on Twitter under a new account known as Bunker. That account was taken down because he leaked a work-in-progress footage of Minecraft Live. The images recovery. Oh my god. They make a netherite bunker, dude. The stuff was taken down pretty quickly, allegedly, but it was leaked on Reddit regarding the 2025 winter drop that they're going to show at Minecraft Live. Allegedly, this drop will introduce content themed around the Tricky Trials update. We're going to get a new small dungeon structure called the Pulsite Bunker. It seems that the new blocks are themed around the heavy core. There's a one-way variant of tinted glass dome. I'm not gonna lie, that's really cool, and I think that would be relatively simple to pull off. That kind of thing does seem like it could be something that Mojang would totally throw into the game one day. We're gonna get a new armor tier, some new blocks, and this armor is gonna go in between diamond and iron, filling that gap a little bit more. And you know what? You wanna know what's even better? Haha, well, I've logged in, I've gotten into Mojang's official servers, and well, I've gotten Minecraft Live. I climbed into the offices, don't tell anybody, myself, and I was able to get Minecraft Live a little bit early. I got the Pulsite Bunker right here in game. Take a look at this thing, the heavy block.
Spain does recognize them as autonomous, but there are other groups that want autonomous status too.
It's like a heavy core, dude. And there's even more. We have the heavy tile right there. That's pretty cool looking. It's like the OG copper and the heavy pedestal as well. What's even crazier about this one is if you wanted to, you can download Minecraft Live right now for free for yourself as well. Thanks to the Blocky Goats Heavy expansion, which is a Bedrock add-on.
The history of the Basque country. Why is this video so fast? Let's watch a normal video.
This video is brought to you by Captivating History. This lively European ethnic group has occupied the foothills of the Pyrenees Mountains for thousands of years, retaining their own distinctive language, character, and traditions despite all odds. The Basques mostly live in north-central Spain, with a smaller group living in southern France. For most of their history, they've retained their independence to some degree, despite various European powers' best efforts to subdue them. The Basque region, or Euskal Herria, has shifted its borders often throughout its long history, but it broadly encompasses the region around the western Pyrenees Mountains. Many Basque people live along the coast in a region of France and Spain known as the Bay of Biscay. This bay is known for its picturesque views, stormy seas, and excellent fishing. Basques are famous for being fantastic sailors and rugged mountain dwellers. Although they are situated in a desirable region of Europe, the Basque people, long sheltered by the lofty Pyrenees mountain range, have succeeded in protecting their ancient identity. Recent genetic studies of the group have found that the Basques' claims that they are different from their neighbors are not just based on folklore, and DNA profiles of the Basque people reveal them to be distinct from both the French and Spanish populations surrounding them. A study conducted in 2015 traced their ancient origins to the Pyrenees to around 3000 to 5000 BCE during the Neolithic, although some scientists believe the group may have settled even earlier than that. Protected by the local landscape, the Basques are believed to have been sheltered from other migrating groups moving through Europe during the Stone Age. As a result, their distinct language is the oldest continuously spoken tongue in all of Europe. Basque, or Euskara, is a language isolate, sharing no genealogical link with nearby regional languages. Besides their language, we know a bit about ancient Basque people from ancient stories passed down from many generations and significant archaeological evidence recovered in the region. Before Christianity, the ancient Basques worshipped several pagan deities, but their most important god appears to have been a female earth deity called Mari. Mari lived in some cave, possibly high in the mountains, and she supposedly brought storms to the region to water the land and express her fury. Caves feature quite prominently in Basque mythology, symbolizing the land of the dead and the entrance to a world of magic. Not surprisingly, some of Europe's oldest cave paintings are found in the Basque region. Our first glimpse of the Basques in written accounts come from the Punic Wars, which were fought between Rome and the North African power of Carthage. The Iberian Peninsula was one of the main theaters of war during the conflict, with land passing back and forth between the two groups. The Basques appear to have fought for the Carthaginians, possibly even helping the legendary general Hannibal to invade Italy. While Rome ultimately defeated Carthage, the Basques were never entirely subjugated by the Romans. We know from Julius Caesar's writings that the Basques were divided into many small tribes at this time. One of the most prominent tribes, known as the Vascons, struck a deal with Caesar, allowing him free movement through the Pyrenees. The area between the river Ebro and the river Garonne ultimately became known as Vasconia after this group, and it was notoriously difficult to conquer. Although the entire Basque country was soon swallowed by the Roman Empire, like many other mountainous regions in the Roman provinces, it was less Romanized and wilder than its surroundings. Incredibly, the Basques were ultimately never fully incorporated into the empire because they were too difficult to control, because they could easily evade and surprise Roman soldiers with their superior knowledge of the surrounding mountain passes. The most Romanized part of Basque Country was the wealthy coastal area around the Bay of Biscay, which became an important region for commerce. After a lengthy peace, the Basque region would be plunged into war during the 5th century CE. The Roman Empire had begun to collapse during a period of lengthy barbarian invasions, and many foreign tribes had spread across the empire, looking to annex land for themselves. One group, the Visigoths, claimed most of what is now Spain and southern France. However, the Visigoth, just like the Romans, would struggle to conquer the Basque people. Intense battles broke out between the two groups, but the Visigoths found much of Basque territory impossible to control. In particular, the Basque city of Pamplona was soon abandoned by the Goths, who could not subdue their fiery local population. While the Visigoths were soon weakened, soon a new threat emerged in the north, as the Frankish people slowly spread across most of what is today's France. The
Yeah,
French
it's
portion of
pre-calc.
Basque territory became known as Gascony, part of the larger French province of Aquitaine. Despite the Franks' growing power during the early Middle Ages, Aquitaine was independent for a short time, kicking back against Frankish-imposed suzerainty. During the 8th century, the tiny kingdom of Aquitaine would reach its height under Odo the Great, a fearsome warrior who fended off both the warring Franks in the north and the Muslim invasions from the south. Odo is now seen as a great European hero, and he is best remembered for helping to beat back the incredibly successful Muslim invasion of Europe at the Battle of Toulouse. Unfortunately, Aquitaine would soon lose its independence to the Franks shortly after Odo's death. With Aquitaine under control, the Frankish emperor, Charlemagne, set his sights on Spain. Although Charlemagne was a successful ruler, and he would end up controlling a large part of Europe, he was finally brought to a halt in the Pyrenees by the fearsome Spanish Basques. Charlemagne's bid for Spain included one of the greatest battles of the European Dark Ages, the Battle of Roncesvalles Pass in 778, during which the Basques had a stunning victory, ambushing the Franks on a mountain pass. The resounding defeat halted Charlemagne's ambitious expansion. The heavily romanticized battle was mythologized in one of the greatest works of medieval European literature, the Song of Roland. Growing in confidence after their victory, the tiny and resilient Basque kingdom in Spain would soon have its heyday. Once they had defeated the Franks, the Spanish Basques elected a renowned fighter, Inigo Arista, as their first king. Arista was seated in Pamplona and took control of its surrounding lands, shaking off the yoke of the Muslim Caliphate, which endeavored to control the whole of Iberia. The Basque kingdom in Spain came to be known as the Kingdom of Navarre, and it would remain.
See you tomorrow, Reject. Good night.
In later history, the Spanish
Hope to see you at 8. I will see you.
Spain, besides neighboring Asturias, which resisted Muslim rule for almost the entire
Always
Middle
staying
Ages.
isolated during the
By
Great
the
Plague,
11th
I
century,
bet, yeah.
Navarre would expand under the king of
07
Spain and
Reject.
Sancho the Great, absorbing large chunks of northern Spain. The kingdoms of Castile and Aragon would soon break away from the Basque Navarre, and throughout the rest of the Middle Ages, the emerging Christian
Cassio.
kingdoms in Spain would shift and change in size and
Cassio's the
importance.
best.
Sometimes Navarre would be stronger. Sometimes it would be subdued by another
1
region.
a.m. got it.
By the end of
07.
the Middle
Yes.
Ages, Christian Spain had conquered the rest of the Iberian Peninsula and merged to become one country, officially uniting in 1492. The Kingdom of Navarre would hold out against this union a little longer, before eventually being absorbed in 1512. Fortunately for
No,
the Basques,
I like
the
this one.
Spanish
This is my
set up the
favorite
fuero system,
calculator.
a type of charter granting Navarre some independent powers, allowing them to govern themselves to some extent. Spanish Basque country would remain this way for many centuries, while the topmost part of Navarre, located in France, became a different semi-independent kingdom, the Kingdom of Navarre-Bearn, which the kings of France typically inherited. The French Basque Country and Spanish Basque Country would maintain some semblance of self-rule under the now firmly established European states of France and Spain for the next several centuries. The Basque lands would grow to become wealthy and prosperous from crucial industries such as fishing and whaling.
This better be right.
While the land thrived, Spanish Navarre was briefly rocked
What?
by catastrophic witch trials in the 1600s, in which thousands were accused of sorcery and many fled to France.
Okay, I
These
see.
brutal trials were some of the largest in history, and the investigation victims are still mourned to this day.
Not my
It
song.
wouldn't be
Your
long
cover.
till
Your
Basque
cover.
autonomy was challenged. In France,
Yeah,
the
they
Basques
do,
were
they do,
gradually
but I
integrated
just like
into
to
French
use this
culture
one
over
for
the
my
centuries,
everyday
and
whatever.
lost much of their character in a way that the Spanish Basques did not. In 1789, when the French Revolution broke out, the French government was reorganized under a heavily centralized system, and the French Basques ceased to be independent altogether. In Spain, a similar attempt at centralization was made in the 19th century. However, when the liberal government tried to reduce Basque powers in the 1830s, the Basques supported a conservative usurper king, Carlos V, to keep their independent status. This was the First Carlist War. Carlos would ultimately lose the war, officially ending home rule for the Basques and causing many to emigrate to the US in search of greater freedom. A
Oh.
few years later, during the Third Carlist War in the
Interesting.
1870s, the Basques briefly broke away from Spain, temporarily creating their own Basque kingdom in the north, defying Madrid's central government. Once again, the Basques were on the losing side. However, the central government granted them a few concessions, allowing the Basques to have some economic
Yeah, I'm
control
gonna
over
need to
their
do
lands
calc
to prevent
also.
further uprisings. Independent-minded Basques in Spain would continue to agitate for more independence throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, feeling they had
The guy
been
from Tears for
unjustly
Fears
stripped
is
of their
Basque?
ancestral rights.
Yo,
It appeared that they might
okay.
get their wish in the early 1930s.
They made good ass
When the
music.
Spanish Republic was created, long-standing tensions between the
I don't
different
know.
competing groups in Spain soon led to civil
Fuck.
war, during which the
Means
Basques supported the
approaches.
Republican army against the fascist forces of General Franco. Unfortunately, Franco was supported by the Nazi government in Germany, and he quickly swept Republican forces aside in a devastatingly bloody conflict. One of the biggest atrocities of the Spanish
know.
Civil War happened in
Infinity.
Basque territory,
Wait.
when Franco's German allies bombed the town of Guernica into the ground, killing hundreds of defenseless civilians. Remarkably, the tree of Guernica, a symbol of the Basque freedom, was left untouched while the rest of the city dissolved in the carnage. The terrifying atrocity was later forever immortalized by Pablo Picasso's haunting painting, Guernica. After Franco won the Spanish Civil War, he was particularly
Unfortunately.
cruel to the Basque people and many other groups in Spain who wished to become independent. He banned the Basque language, along with Basque nationalist groups, and hundreds were executed on suspicion of rebellious activity. By then, many rebellious Basques in France and Spain supported the Allies in World War II against the forces of fascism. Basque speakers were also used to pass coded messages to the Allies in the US because the Basque language is rarely spoken and hard to translate. After World War II, the Basques were also an essential part of the Spanish resistance to dictator Franco, taking any opportunity they could to disrupt Spain's fascist government. Under Franco, ETA, the notorious Basque terrorist group, formed, determined to break from Spanish rule under a tyrannical government. At their height, the ETA even managed to assassinate Franco's prime minister in 1973.
No need for real calc in
Fortunately,
everyday life.
1975, Franco died, and the King of Spain,
I don't know.
Juan Carlos
I'm just trying to
I,
finish my
immediately set
degree.
about
I'm almost
establishing a
there.
democracy. Spain's new constitution,
Might as well have
written
it.
in 1978, has made Spain one of the most radically decentralized countries globally, as more and more powers have been devolved to Spain regions. Although the Basques were subsequently granted much autonomy, the radical ETA remained active after the fascist government was deposed. Many Basque people were still not satisfied with anything less than a fully independent homeland. Tensions between the ETA and the Spanish government were aggravated again in the 1980s, where GAL, a rogue illegal paramilitary group connected to the central government, kidnapped, tortured, and killed ETA members.
3.
Although GAL members were eventually discovered and arrested, the catastrophic incident was terrible for Basque-Spanish relations. The Basque ETA continued to cause problems for Spain,
Bro.
demanding an independent homeland of their own and carrying out attacks.
What?
In 1997,
Okay.
the ETA kidnapped and killed a local Basque politician. In the early 2000s, the group conducted many terrorist attacks against police, politicians, journalists, and ordinary people,
Why is it
causing
infinity?
outcry against modern Basques. Fortunately, since popular support for the ETA has
Oh,
dramatically
I
declined
see.
in the last 2 decades,
What?
the ETA officially
Okay.
signed a peace accord in 2018,
Bro.
officially disbanding and promising to give up their terrorist activities.
Negative
At
infinity.
present, as Basque radicalism continues to
Wait.
wind down, the Basque regions of France and Spain have become popular, peaceful, and scenic tourist locations, known for their beautiful scenery, unusual traditions, and fantastic food. To learn more about the Basques, check out our book, The Basques. A
No, I'm not
Captivating
cheating.
Guide
I'm
to the
actually
History of the
trying to
Basque
learn
Country,
this.
starting from prehistory through
I
Roman
don't
rule
wanna
and
cheat
the
on
Middle
it.
Ages to the present. It's available as an ebook, paperback, and audiobook.
I'm not
Also,
even using
grab your free
GPT right
Mythology
now.
Bundle ebook while still available. All links are in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.
Okay, wait. Let's listen to my friend's new song. It's a Blush Response. He's in Berlin, and his new song Blackened Sky. If you wanted some industrial music, here you go. Biscuit response, what do you mean? Okay, thanks for stopping by, Malice. I'm looking forward to your set also. Have a good night or day or whatever it is. Thank you, 07 Malice. Thank you for the luck. I need it. I'm chemistry major. I wanted to do pharmacy, but I don't know. I might just like work in a lab. I just want to finish my degree. Bursk. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't like pharmacy anymore. I do not like pharmacy anymore.
Oh, hello.
I used to be a pharmacy technician, but I'm so over it.
And this week
So
I thought
over
I'd
it.
stop by the channel and share a series of patches all about the sounds of the touch tone
I cannot
phone.
anymore.
This is an iconic and immediately recognizable family of tones that we can recreate with just a few simple tools. Let's get started. The tone generation on a touchtone phone happens inside the phone on an IC that looks like this. This chip contains a matrix of frequencies, and each position on that matrix is selected by one of these buttons.
Yo,
Dial on
this
the phone
was
is playing a song.
us in Berlin.
To synthesize these tones,
It was
simply a
fun.
matter of looking at
I
what
got
the
to play with
frequencies
his
are
modular
that are
stuff.
indexed in this matrix.
I remember
This first
streaming
patch uses an
with him
Oak
also.
Troll
It
Camino
was
Coast,
Epic
4 patch
Swag.
cables,
Go and follow
and an
him on
output cable.
Twitch.
It requires 2 oscillators.
He started streaming
so be sure to set
recently.
slope to cycle
Where's
and
his
patch
Twitch?
the
Let me shout him
slope
out.
output. the balance input, with balance set right in the middle. On the oscillator side, you'll want to set multiply fully counterclockwise. It's a 10-uverter right in the center to avoid any modulation from slope section. And overtone, I like to set it around 11 o'clock near this first mark.
Here you go. Go follow him. He streamed like Apex Legends 5 days ago.
To the dynamic
So yeah, I think
CV
he's
input.
gonna
And I have the
be
pitch
streaming more
and
probably.
strength rows attached to the volt per octave and time CV inputs on the oscillator and slope respectively. This is what it sounds like. The
Yo.
dynamics control
That's so cool,
can
that's so
be
cool.
used as a kind of low-pass filter for the sound to help us synthesize different makes and models
Curious what school you're
of
at? Nah, no
theoretical
doxing.
touch-tone phones.
Do you understand about electromagnetism? No, not really. You missed so much of us in Germany. Binks' stream cut right before 6 June played. No.
Of course, there's nothing stopping you from
Yeah,
changing
this guy
some
like
aspect of
told
the
us not
sound.
to
For
stream
example,
at one of
touch gate
the
here is now patched
VGT
to the gate input
events. I don't know which
console.
one though. Yeah, Schneider's Laden. That was amazing.
As I said a moment ago, tuning is key for this patch.
Your
What I
buddy's
like
got
to
a
do
module
is
that
open
does
up
phone
the Tuner
tones,
app
which
in
can
the
patch
DAW
out.
that I use. I'm sure the DAW that you
Yo.
use has something similar.
Not from Germany or
In
from
Ableton,
Turkey?
On the bottom of the Tuner
Yo,
app, there's a small
I like
button
Turkey.
marked CT. If you press it, it will now say HZ.
It was because of the lag. I see.
That's the number we want to match when tuning. There are a handful of other sounds we can synthesize based on the frequencies of this IC, each as evocative of the touchstone era as the sounds of dialing a number. Next up is dial tone. Dial tone is what you hear after you pick up the receiver, but before you dial a number. It sounds like this. The dial tone is a drone. It's just two notes, 350 hertz and 440 hertz, played continuously, and you can play it for as long as you like.
This is so cool. I want to do this.
So we've picked up the receiver, we've heard the dial tone, we've dialed in a number. What do we hear next? That is the ringback tone. It is 440 hertz, 480 hertz, played with 2 seconds on.
Would
4
you like me
seconds
to
off.
prove that I'm a different person? Wait, no, you don't need to prove anything. You're good.
Finally, we have the dreaded busy tone. This is the
Dreaded?
sound you'd hear after you pick up the receiver, hear the dial tone, dial a number, and hear it ring for a little bit, trying to connect to another line. The busy tone is what you hear when that other phone you're trying to connect to is already engaged and can't accept any other calls. This sound tells you as much.
Hey!
It's a frequency combination of 480
Один
hertz
раз, не пяти раз.
and 620 hertz.
That's
It's
funny.
meant to be played half second on, half second off.
I used to work with Turkish people.
I'm gonna make
They're
some
cool.
slight adjustments here. Removing the
Worst
dynamic
sound ever.
CV input
Really?
for just a moment.
Makes you angry?
I'll connect the output of voltage maps to the dynamic CV in. I'll connect the MIDI B gate output to the right input, just set a bit negatively. And I'll connect the touch gate output to the leftmost
Okay.
input.
See ya, Malice. See you tomorrow.
And this
Excited for
is the busy
excited for Shrimp Sunday. It's gonna be fun. What ad did Twitch show you?
I'll call you back.
So we synthesized the sound of a call being made. The dial tone, the
Thank you. Thank you, Malice. Good night.
But now let's synthesize the sound of a voice on a complete call as it emerges from the speaker in a handset.
To begin, we have our microphone patched into this Doepfer A119.
When I
which
get
is
ads, I
providing
close my eyes and I mute it.
amplification for it.
Or I do something
We'll send
else.
an audio out from the preamp to the top input
How do I do
of
this?
the Modmix. This is the
I don't know.
carrier input. Then we'll take the sine wave out from one of our oscillators
Good night, House
As
of
you can see,
Reject
it is
Mama's Little
tuned quite
Chupacabra, and
high
I'll chat. Good night.
into the modulator input of that ring modulator.
Ring modulator. Love,
This is
love.
what that sounds like just on its own.
Wow.
Next up, we'll take the sine wave from our second oscillator, which is tuned to match our first oscillator, very, very high frequencies, and send that to the modulator input.
Why don't you like
of
them
channel
make
2
noise
of
things?
Modmix. The carrier input
What's wrong?
is normaled to output 1.
What's wrong with
This
them?
is the sound of a microphone being demodulated.
The last piece is now treating this signal, and I'll be using the fixed filter for that. I'll patch out of the Modmix into the 12 dB input, and we'll be taking a couple of higher bands and setting them into their own XO channels. Start with
I'm
the
putting this into GPT, but I'm
692
looking at the
hertz.
explanation because
and then we'll
the
take the 1411
math PowerPoints
hertz.
don't really explain it that good.
Let's listen to that.
And this is the sound of a microphone demodulated.
They're really expensive and flimsy and don't sound any better than cheaper stuff.
In this modular landscape, the preamp,
You only got a
the
wobble bug
oscillators,
and it's
and the
not
pair of
even their
ring mobs
design, I
are
see.
synthesizing the transmission
That's fair.
aspect of the call, whereas the fixed filter is synthesizing the acoustic reality of the handset.
What the flip?
For this last patch, I thought I'd jump us all the way ahead to the bleeding edge of technology and talk about the sound of the
Explain.
dial-up modem. Unfortunately, I do not have a patch to perfectly synthesize the twists and
Yeah,
turns of the classic
I am
dial-up
trying to
modem
figure
sound.
out what it is.
If you do, please leave it in the comments below. Instead, what I can present is a more vibes-based approach to synthesizing that sound.
Vibes-based
This one
approach.
requires a MIDI controller and an O-Coast. I've got the MIDI output from the Yamaha QY70 patched to the MIDI input
Do up
on
first.
the O-Coast.
Okay.
I will press Program A and Program B
I'll look
together,
them up.
entering into the O-Coast arpeggiator mode. The arpeggiator needs a clock patched into its tempo
Wow.
input. So for that,
I like
going to use
using
the
test
slope
equipment.
press cycle and set rise and fall fully counterclockwise. We want basically an audio rate clock source. Patch the end of cycle output.
You try to replicate or
tempo
what
input.
wrong do you? What do you mean? I don't
And a
think I'm
couple other settings
understanding
here on the coast.
completely.
You want to set balance fully
I'm just watching
counterclockwise, so we're
videos
not
and doing
listening
my
to our
math
clock
homework at
source,
the
we're
same
only listening
time.
to our MIDI controlled oscillator. On the contour section, onset and fully counterclockwise decay is basically fully counterclockwise. Sustain is fully clockwise. And I've got the shape set kind of in a logarithmic place, but experiment and find something that works for you. Finally, the last step is to play some notes into our O-Coast
Late
from the MIDI controller.
90s,
I'll
wow.
be playing chords.
That's good.
Because we're in the arpeggiator mode, it'll be cycling through the
Yeah,
notes of
this
those
is like
chords,
newer stuff,
but
I can
at
tell.
audio rate. This is what that sounds like. Thanks for going on this technological, archaeological journey with me. Walker will be back next week, so
Bye.
Hello and welcome back to Switch and Lever. Before we kick things off, this video may contain sounds of questionable musical quality. If you are accustomed to nice, smooth sounds, I would suggest looking for a smooth jazz playlist.
Late 2000,
In
other
fact,
people
one of my favorites
started
is
to make
linked in the
Eurorack
description already.
modules.
This video is about taking children's toys and
IntelliJ,
making them do things they were not
I
intended
like.
to do. Now, don't take toys from children. It's better all around if you forego the crying and angry parents and instead head over to your local thrift store to see what's available. I managed to get my hand
I'm
on
gonna
this
be
Music
doing this.
Time My First keyboard for close to no money at all. In all respects, this is a really decent kid's keyboard. It has a whole bunch of instruments to choose from, which are actually surprisingly decent for being in a toy. It also has some tunes you can play and even some groovy animal sounds. Before we get carried away though, let's talk a little about what we're doing. I'm sure some of you are wondering why I haven't mentioned circuit bending yet, so let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh, okay.
Circuit bending isn't about actually bending any circuits. Rather, it's about altering the circuits in musical toys and instruments to make them do weird and wonderful things. By adding different components, such as resistors, potentiometers, buttons or capacitors, you change the behavior of the sounds. By their nature, most of these sounds are glitchy and noisy, suited for music on the electronical side of the spectrum. But sometimes you're able to create some truly inspiring sounds as well. To get started, you're of course going to need your toy, which luckily we
There's a
already have.
music Rebel Yo, that kind
It's
of piano
also
shit,
helpful
okay.
if you have an assortment of different electronic components
Rebel
already,
Yo.
as the nature of circuit bending is to experiment, not to know what you need beforehand. Personally, I have a hoarder instinct and I like salvaging interesting components and knobs from various broken electronics which cross my path. For this particular hack, you're also going to need a switching
By Billy Idol.
3.5mm audio jack, but I'll get back to that later. Some general tools like
You used to do
screwdrivers
that?
and side cutters are also a good idea.
What did you do with it?
You're also definitely going to need a soldering iron, like this TS100 soldering iron I was sent to test out. But again, more on that later. Start by cracking open your toy, and by crack open I mean carefully undo the screws that are holding it together. Once inside, we get direct access to the circuit that's making this keyboard chooch. We have a slew of resistors, transistors and capacitors, which are all basically part of driving the speaker. The interesting part is under this epoxy blob. That's the brain of this thing, and it's completely inaccessible. Luckily for us though, it appears that most points are broken out into a ribbon cable connected to the main circuit board. The best way to really get started is just to grab some jumper wires and start poking around.
No.
Play a note repeatedly on the keyboard, or if it plays music by itself, make sure that it's playing. Connect points together and make careful notes what happens when you connect them. There is a real risk of frying the circuit, so be careful if you ever see sparks, do not connect those points again. Also, this is why you should not do this on expensive equipment and only work with battery-powered circuitry.
Okay.
Do not try to circuit bend any device which runs on mains power. It can result in serious injury or even death if you poke in the wrong place.
Damn.
Even so, it's likely that you're going to crash the circuit of your toy repeatedly, so be ready to turn it on and off to reset it. Unless you really fried it, it should spring back to life. The simplest hack to make is to change the pitch, and it's usually just controlled by a pitch resistor somewhere in the circuit. You can find this by hooking up jumper cables to a potentiometer, which is essentially just a variable
fun
resistor,
zap.
and connect to any of the resistors.
I got zapped by the
Once you find the
outlet
pitch
one
resistor,
time,
you'll notice that you can change
and I
the pitch of the
overreacted. I was
tone
like,
played
oh my
by turning
god.
the
It wasn't even
potentiometer
that
knob.
bad.
Removing and permanently replacing this resistor with a potentiometer gives you a way to easily adjust the pitch on the fly. What value of potentiometer you need depends on the circuit. which is why it's very handy to have an assortment of potentiometers available to be able to experiment which gives the best result. To get the desired result, I ended up having to use the highest value potentiometer I had at 1 mega ohm.
Mega ohm.
As we're getting ready to solder, let's go back and talk a little bit about the TS100 soldering iron. Full transparency, I was sent this by GearBest for testing, but I had already seen quite a few people on YouTube revel about it, so I knew I had to give it a try. The soldering iron comes in this sleek black box, nicely packaged with a quick start guide and a solder tip. The iron feels more like a pen than a soldering iron. It's light, but therefore it also feels nimble in the hand. The iron runs on anywhere between 12 to 24 volts, but will heat up quicker at the higher rated voltage. I ran it at 12 volts as that's what I had available, and it still heated up to 350 degrees Celsius in just around half a minute, which I found quite reasonable.
I mean, whatever works.
The tips of the soldering
I just
iron
use
are also
whatever I have
replaceable
at
and
my
comes in
disposal.
different shapes for different purposes.
Probably whatever's in like
question
the
is, how does it hold up to soldering?
maker space.
Let's get back to the circuit bending and find out. As we mentioned before, the pitch resistor needs to go. That's the easy part though, just grab it with pliers or tweezers, heat up the solder pads and pull out the leads. From this point on, the keyboard will not work until we replace the resistor with our potentiometer. Of course, we can't mount the potentiometer inside the enclosure, it needs to stick out somewhere. Use a drill, or like I'm doing, a Dremel, to cut out some holes where the components can fit through the front and the sides of the enclosure for the different parts that you want to mount. As we're installing an audio out jack, now is also a good time to figure out where that needs to go, as well as any other components you want to fit in based on your explorations. I'm adding a couple of toggle switches as well as something called body contacts. If it's easy to get to the components with the soldering iron when they're mounted, I see no harm in attaching them before starting to attach wires. When you have wires going back
Interpol?
and forth,
They're coming to
connecting
Turkey?
points, things do get a little bit messy.
That'd be
Here I'm
18
attaching
divided by
two brass
6,
drawer
which is
bolts,
3.
which will form our body contacts. Basically what they do is allow us to change the pitch of our tones simply by touching the knobs and allowing our bodies to act as big resistors. It literally allows you to bend the sound being played by altering how you touch the contacts. Therefore, they need to be conductive, so metal is the way to go. We'll get back to them in a second though. In the meanwhile, let's turn our attention to the audio jack. You can choose here if you want a switched audio jack or a regular one. The benefit of a switched one is that you can cut the signal to the speaker whenever you plug in headphones. This means that you can sit and play by yourself without bothering anyone. And when you're ready for a performance, just unplug your headphones and the speaker will kick in again. Though if you want to record what you're playing into a separate audio recorder, that may be a bit difficult as you won't be able to hear what you're playing unless the audio recorder has an audio out of itself. For this reason, you may want to choose a non-switched audio jack. Disconnect the speaker and connect the signal from the keyboard to the audio jack instead, and the switched leads back to the speaker. Now you're ready to start hooking up other components. Start by hooking up the potentiometer to replace the pitch resistor. I added a toggle switch to switch between using
Moldova.
the potentiometer and the body contacts as the pitch control, and also connected a high value resistor between the body contacts so that they're always connected, as I found out that the keyboard would crash if they weren't.
I know what to do
I
here.
also added a capacitor between a point in the audio circuit through another toggle switch and to a point on the small controller board. When flipped, this causes a noise to be played whenever certain high tones are reached. I'm being somewhat deliberately vague in what points to use, exact values of components and so forth, because unless you have this exact keyboard, it will not matter. Circuit bending is an inexact science. Heck, it's probably not even a science at all. Grab a fistful of random components, throw them at your circuit, see what sticks, and solder stuff in place. Your mileage will vary, and what you use in your hack will no doubt share similarities with this, but still be entirely different. The one thing we have left to do before we close her up is to make sure all components are attached properly. Some, which have nuts, you may be able to screw in from the outside.
But it's not the safest part of the world right now.
The plastic was quite thick in some places, so this only worked for the toggle switches for me.
Yeah, we visited the Netherlands and we got
already,
assaulted and robbed.
Comes in very handy to both secure components
So,
in place, as well as insulating exposed wires and solder
I'm
points
scared
from
of
short circuit.
visiting unsafe places.
Don't be shy with the hot glue. Unless you're planning to remove the components, it's better to use a bit too much hot glue than too little. Finally, put the back on. Attach a knob if you feel like sprucing up the shaft of your potentiometer and get ready to fire this baby up. From here on out, I don't think there's a need for words. Although I do apologize that instead of my smooth southern comfort and pipe smoking cured voice, you get to listen to something barely qualifiable as music.
Oh, Cappadocia. Yeah, no, don't go to Russia right now. Do not. Ooh. Let's see. How do I turn the volume down? I forgot. Your grandparents were visiting Russia when Chernobyl went boom? Oh my god. That's insane. Damn. They're trying to hide it. How? That's like impossible to hide. Yeah, this thing's fun. I love it. You're tempting me to get a what? What am I tempting you to get? To circuit bend? Do it. Can't fool the Geiger counters. Nope. Cannot fool the Geiger counters. He also made this 7 years ago, so now Goodwills are expensive. Oh. Most stores here have given up on trying to price gouge. That's good. That's good at least. Wait, my Wi-Fi might lag out. I had to switch to my hotspot.
Okay, you made it through. You're alive, and hopefully your eardrums are intact. Let's close up the chapter on the TS100 soldering iron. I've used it now for a few weeks, and aside from this project, I've used it to desolder components as well as build some other small circuits.
Oh, okay. My Wi-Fi is going bad. No!
I have to say that I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm used to running a proper Weller soldering station, and while they're truly great irons, this is a serious contender for sure. Not the least because it's so small, I can easily bring it with me whenever I may need it. I was surprised over how much I actually like this soldering iron, and I was
yeah, for real, they'll have to bring
scathing
prices
review,
down.
but that didn't happen. Another
People
cool
will
feature
steal.
is that because it has a USB connector, you can upgrade the firmware, and you're not just locked into the manufacturer's firmware either. There are people who have made their own custom firmware that unlocks a lot more options and features than what the iron ships with. For instance, who wouldn't want to have their own logo during startup? If you feel like getting this soldering iron, there is a link in the description. As before, I don't gain anything if you buy this iron or not. None of the links in the description are affiliate links. Now, there were some issues with this build, like having to switch between the body contacts and the pitch potentiometer, the lowest pitch not being low enough for my taste, and the audio jack only working on the right channel. I couldn't leave good enough alone, even though the video was almost done. So I fixed those issues and added another couple of features for good measure. I removed one of the toggle switches and replaced it with a button which creates some really god-awful noise. I also added a slide potentiometer in series with the pitch potentiometer, effectively doubling the lower pitch effect. The audio signal out of the audio jack was also unreasonably high, making the use of headphones unbearably loud. Another potentiometer was therefore added as a separate volume control for the outgoing signal.
Okay. I think my math homework stopped working,
Now
so I'll
go
continue
forth and
tomorrow.
create. I chose to hack a
And I
keyboard
guess I'll go
because
to
I
sleep
wanted a
right
playable
now.
instrument, but there is nothing stopping you from using any sort of toy which makes
Let's see
noise
who's
from
live
your
right now
hands.
and we can raid.
This toy remote control, for instance, picked up for $1, fitted with a pitch potentiometer, and
yeah.
it now makes some delightfully weird
Have a good
sounds.
night. Thanks for stopping by, and be here at 8 p.m. EST for my synthesizer set. Be here. Let's see who's streaming.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If your ears can take more abuse, be sure to check out one of the previous videos from Switch and Lever. For a less loud venue, head over to Instagram for more regular updates.
Okay, let's just raid to Binks. Wait, actually Slammy Sammy. My guy. Has been streaming for a long time. Okay, have a good night everyone. Thanks for coming by. Good night Hasuka. Good night. And be here at 8 p.m. EST tomorrow for my synth set. Have a good one. Bye Hasuka. Bye Mama's Little Chupacabra. Bye everyone. Bye Bill. Thank you for stopping by.